What's going on, solopreneur recruiters? Welcome back. You might have a sales call coming up. You're trying to close a client, or maybe you're doing some cold calling, and you need to understand better how to execute these calls so you're more successful in the long run. You want to imagine that you're going to have 50 of these calls over the next, we'll say 4 to 6 months. We'll stay conservative. You want to make sure that you're handling these all the right way, that you're getting to the root of what this sales call actually is and how you're going to capture more clients into that bucket, but not just more clients. You want to think about this whole process of signing on. If it's contingency, you want to sift through even the clients that you do sign on to your favorite clients, the ones that lean on you a lot more. So I'm working with a client out in San Francisco, still one of my first clients, and they've been incredible. I mean, they're hiring 10 roles on our platform. I've hired 9 candidates through them in the past. We've made so much money off of them, and it's just a really good match. And that's what you're looking for, not just clients, but you're looking to have those handful of reliable clients for your agency that's going to help you propel forward and help you build this whole damn thing. So when you're on your sales call, the first thing is do not be nervous on this call. And sometimes you just can't help it, especially at the beginning. But do not put these people on a pedestal. And one thing that really has eased me on that front is, of course, just doing a shit ton of sales. I mean, through that first year and my first sales role, you're just told to have more conversations, get told no a lot more often. And Andrea Waltz's book, I talked about this on my other podcast, she goes into depth about basically how when you get a no, that's a little win. You should have like a little tally sheet of how many times somebody's told you no this week. And that's a big thing in the sales world, is really training your mind to ask things where, you might get a no, but you're going to start to realize that more people are going to say yes to those meetings when you cold call. Maybe there is a need there, and it's going to surprise you. You're going to get through that, and you're going to retrain your mind to not be uncomfortable in those moments. So that's something that's been really huge for me as a sales professional that I realized a long time ago because I was trained and pushed through it. And even with my other podcasts, I mean, I've had Ted Karras, who's on the Miami Dolphins now. He was on the Patriots at the time. David Meltzer, he's mega. He's got 500,000 followers on Instagram. He's on entrepreneur.com. He's got these podcasts with all these famous athletes and all these Barstool personalities, the CEOs that have been on my podcast. You realize that there's no real need to be nervous because these people are just human in the first place, and you're not dealing with anybody on that level when you're calling. You're talking about directors of HR for these small companies, or VPs of sales for whatever industry that you're in, and just have more conversations and push yourself to get through it at the beginning. You're going to start to feel more like a business owner, like somebody who can sell. And just get through the beginning, because probably the first 20 sales calls are not going to be very good. And that's just the bottom line. But let's really get into what you should be talking about on these sales calls specifically. So first things first, and I saw a couple videos of recruiters who were doing like mock calls with clients, and some of them were actually doing live sales calls with clients. I doubt they were asking for permission to record those people, but you really want to ask more questions to that prospect, because you want to dig into their pain points. And not only that, you want them to say it out loud so the conversation is moving in that direction. So ask more questions. What is your ideal candidate? What problems are you really facing during your hiring process? Is there anything that's really killing you? Are people missing the mark? Where are the other recruiters missing the mark that's pushing us to have this conversation? And that decision maker is going to go into details about, maybe there's recruiters that are just sending candidates from job boards. We're not sponsoring H-1B, and they keep sending us these people that need sponsorship, or we need account managers, not account executives, and they keep sending us account executives. It could be something like, I just don't have time to do these interviews, so we need higher quality candidates. There's a million things that they're going to be talking about. So you really want to hone in on that, ask them questions, dig deeper into those pain points. So this whole conversation centering around a problem. And what do you think is going to come next is solving that problem. And also, when they're going into details about these pain points, be writing that down, whether it's on your computer, in your CRM, you got a notebook, write everything that they're saying down in bullets so you have it right there for access. And why do we want to write this down? I mean, in the future, for you sourcing these candidates, you want to make sure that you're not missing the mark. But during this phone call, you're going to want to champion yourself at one point. So what you're going to do is at the end of the phone call or mid-phone call, after they're done going through those pain points and after maybe you did pitch your service or something like that, you're going to repeat those problems back to them to let them know, I'm not somebody that needs to be told something twice. I'm somebody who's efficient. You're not going to have to hold my hand through anything. And I remember all your pain points. And then you're going to champion yourself after that. You're going to give these solutions that you've pre-thought of before this phone call for every scenario, by the way. And you're going to feed them those solutions. So give them their pain points back, and maybe they're interviewing too many candidates, like I mentioned before. What you'll say is, I'm an extension of you. I'm a bottleneck. All of these candidates that are coming through, I'm going to vet them, go through all these details. And what I'll say is I'll pull in one of their job descriptions that I know I'm going to be sourcing for in the future, and I'll talk about their experience. So you're looking for an account executive with 4 years. I'll make sure they're industry specific. I'm going to be your extension. I'm going to be a bottleneck, so you're not dealing with a bunch of bogus, just bullshit candidates in your pipeline and wasting your time. You're dealing with bad quality candidates. I know that's a huge problem. That's something that I hear all the time when I'm having these conversations. Here's how I find better ones. I come up with my top 50 or top 100, and I work on that list only, and I put the job board or inbound candidates off to the side, and I only find candidates that I know are going to be perfect fits for you, and we're going to start there and expand out from that location. Maybe they have a bad history with other recruiters. Like they're very wary about having to deal with getting your contract signed. Like I don't want to take this contract over to my higher up and just have this signed and have to deal with something that's not going to work. This is what happened to me over and over again. Have a testimonial ready. Here's what my client said about me. They lean on me all the time. And I talk about my client in San Francisco. I got one in Boston, in Nashville, and Austin. I got a bunch with written testimonials, letting prospective clients know that, hey, this person knows what they're doing. They're an extension of me, and everything they're saying is valid. And they've been great for us in our hiring process. Give that social proof as well. And even if you're just getting started, have a very human experience with them on that first phone call. Highlight the positive of you getting your business started, in that, hey, I'm getting this thing started. I know I don't have a long list of clients and happy clients in my past, but here's what I've done in recruiting. And the positive of working with me is that I'm going to give you everything I have. You're the only person that I'm going to focus on. I'm going to be in your corner, and I'm going to prove myself over the next year to you. And this is going to be the best decision that you've ever made if you just give me a shot. That human experience and them knowing that you're going to go to bat for them and them only is a huge, huge positive. So before these phone calls, write all this stuff down. Write the pros of your business, write the cons of your business, and find ways to spin it. And, well, not spin it, but basically take those negatives and turn them into a positive. So again, to review this, slam on those pain points, expand on them, get them to talk, ask more questions. You shouldn't be talking all that much in the first half of this phone call. It should be them talking. At the end of the day, they don't want to sit there and just hear you ramble about your service and just ramble about how you're the best. Bring them to those problems, walk them to it, and then position yourself as the champion in the solution. And also, a huge, huge part about sales and the human experience is storytelling. And again, tell some kind of a story that humanizes you and puts you in a good position. And like I said, it could be maybe your work experience if you're just getting started, about your experience in sales and what you've done to make sure that maybe you're faced with that adversity in the past, how you handled that. That could be a huge pitching point for you. For me, again, it's those client stories and talking about my relationships with them, specific conversations that I've had with them, specific emails that they've sent to me after we've went through this hiring round and how we just absolutely smashed it for them. And talking about those human experiences is going to make a big difference on your sales calls. You do this over and over again, and you're going to be more successful than people that are just getting on the phone. What roles are you looking for? Then diving into what your service is. Of course, you're going to win clients here and there, but the whole game with recruiting is not just having clients, it's having repeat clients that come back to you, that trust you. The clients that I'm working with, they know they can trust me. They know that I do what I say I'm going to do, and they're willing to pay me for it. I'm going to be firing clients in the future. I've done it in the past. You don't want to have clients where you're chasing them around, where they're radio silent, they don't respect you. Create that relationship, make it human, tell stories, have that attachment with each other, and build for the long term. And that's how you're going to be able to sell over the phone. This video, like the other sales videos I've made, could probably be an hour long. And this is something that I'm going to add to the course that I'm making. It's going to be a long form, just crash course on sales that's going to be coming out. But think about that. Think about that when you're on the phone. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. So if you could like and subscribe, and if you could write me a review on Apple Podcasts if you got anything from this video, definitely, that would mean the world to me. Otherwise, we'll keep coming out with the free content, and appreciate you guys. Thank you.